Okay, good morning, everybody. Ryan here from Precision Trading Labs. I am going to show you today a pretty solid Forex trade. Something that turns into a home run, but you don't know it's going to be a home run. I know there's some conflict and some stuff I said there, but let me show you. Let me share my screen in 1 second. I don't have my camera on just because I'm not looking the best today. I just didn't have enough caffeine and didn't get enough exercise. So I'm going to share my screen in 1 second. Let's actually just go ahead and do that now. And hang on a second. Let me share the whiteboard. And I want to show you some stuff. So there's things we need in a good trade, right? We need a solid setup, right? And our setups are based on price action, right? The two patterns that we trade, right? But there's some other things you can do once you're in a trade or you have a trade that the trade goes from being a solid trade. Now, a solid setup to me, I'll get into when I have the share the chart. And it was something I was looking at with a coaching student who already came to me. He was trading Forex. And so, we got started trading with that. And then obviously, you guys know I do a lot of stocks and stock trades and option trades. But since he's trading Forex, we started out just looking at that. And I found some good trades. And I traded Forex for about 7 years. I didn't give it up because it wasn't profitable. I kind of just moved on to other things like, Forex is great if you have a small account and you're inside the pattern day trader requirement, all that good stuff. Now, for this trade, it had a lot of promise and it was a solid profitable trade, but it went from a 3 to, I call a solid profit to me is risk $1 to make $3. And you guys probably have heard this from me forever, right? But this trade went quite a bit more. So I want to take it apart. I want you to see, how you could have stayed in it, how you could have followed it. I did this on a coaching session. I actually did send it around to a couple of students who trade Forex still. And a couple of people made some money off of it. I unfortunately did not, but that's okay. So let me get inside the chart now and kind of just give you a brief lesson. And then if you guys have some feedback, feel free, you know where to find me, send it to me. And then let's get rolling. Just give me 1 second here. Let me stop sharing. And let me share my screen. Okay. Okay, so here's the trade. All right, so let me take this apart a little. This is the Euro JPY. All right, so if you guys saw anything of that pound yen trade I did last week, went pretty well also. So let me show you our patterns. If you've seen them already, we're looking for that sideways action and then a big move after that. So here, this has it, right there. In the yellow box is the what we were looking for, and then price spiked out of it. Okay, so right there is the spike. Okay, now we needed to return to that yellow box. Okay, so what's so great about this, right? So let me show you, because this is like the history. So price came out and then came back, which is that touch right there, that red candle. Make sure you guys see it right there. Okay, great. Now you'll see it started to work, came back down, kind of just frustrates you for a little bit. This is a 30-minute chart. So each of these candles represents 30 minutes of time. So about 2 hours into the trade, it's getting a little frustrating, but this is just kind of the business we've signed up for. Okay. This risk, if this were to stop out, I had about $100 of risk. Okay. On a full lot. So now it comes back in, you're starting to sweat a little bit, never comfortable, right? Okay. Now it's starting to come out there. Let me just show you where the target would have been. Oop, cheated a little. Okay. So let's look at the target. And if you guys have seen me trade before, I like to use. So let's say your target's between that 3 to 1 and then 2.5 to 1. So like right here. Okay, so this is about $250 at 250% and $300 reward. And that's within 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. So in about 6-7 hours, it got to your target, right? Either of them. Okay, so okay, solid, right? You made $300. You made $2,000. This trade would have cost you if you bought a full lot. Let's just say on average, $2,000. You made 15% in a couple hours. Wonderful. But check it out. Look where it wound up. Okay, I'm going to tighten this up again. Look at that spike up here. Went as high as 6-1. So you could have got into this trade, gotten out at 3-1, or if you were letting this run, you could have sat in this trade all the way to 6-1, or maybe stopped out at 4-1. There's basically no way this trade lost money, right? Because it even came back in here, and we don't like to see that. But that's the second touch. I'll tell you why in a different coaching video why we don't like to see that. And then watch. Just put a line here so you can see where it went. This is 6-1. Okay. Let's show you where it is now. All right, that's about 10. That's probably better than 10-1 when I do this. Yeah, that's about 10-1. Okay, solid trade, right? If you took 3-1 out of this, you're happy. You're happy. But if you could have got $600 to $1,000 off this trade, I don't know what else you want out of trading or out of life, really, right? And I set up, Mitch and I do this where like you're in a trade a little longer and it forms new zones that can actually help. So here's that 6-1 area, right? If you found this now, you have your stop loss just under here. And that's just, let's call it 6-1, okay? 6-1, but it never got there. So you had a chance. This trade went, let me give you the exact numbers here. So 3-1. There's 10-1. Wow. Okay. This is just a solid trade. I mean, this over here, right? Give me 1 second. I just want to grab the spotlight. So if you were looking here and got into the trade right there, right? Okay, fine. You took about 4 hours. You got 3-1, I said here, right? And then if you left the trade on 6-1. Now, if you just let this thing run, let's just say you had a different size position. I'll explain that in another video also. And you were looking for that 10-1, and I could tell you how you could have known you could stay in this longer. But your worst case scenario after this candle here was basically putting your stop loss at 5-1. And then if it got to 10-1, which it did right there, right, slap right through it, actually got a little bit more, but you had a solid chance to go from $2,000 using $2,000 of buying power. Let me do this on a full lot. Let's just say, depending on your broker, before someone corrects me, depending on your broker, let's say it costs $2,000 for a full lot. Okay. Your risk equals $100. Okay. And you made, and reward, $1,000. That is a nice payday. And let's see how long it took. 1K. So you use 2K to make 1,000. That's a 50% return in, let's see, I said over here, this took about 6 hours, 12. Okay. In about 24 hours, you made $1,000. Okay. And the whole time you're risk adjusted, right? So if this came in and hurt you, your stop's there to save you, or your stop is here to make sure you capture profits. There's not much else I can do for you if you don't like money. Okay. So that's what I wanted to show you. It's a solid trade that turns into just into home run. How much time would it have taken to set this trade up? Well, after you found this, I sent this to some people in the Slack channel through a DM. A couple of people set it up. It took, I don't know, it depends on your broker, probably takes about 3 minutes to set, let's just say 5 minutes to set it up. To manage the trade, there was really no management, depending on where you took profits. If you need to, the way it works with with Thinkorswim, even with Forex, the way if you were in this trade and you wanted to capture more, the way you move your profit target is there'll be a line on your chart and you just move it. Okay, just so you understand. But that's what I got. I mean, this is a pretty solid textbook winner, and more importantly, besides just the risk 100 to make 300, it could have been a 100 to make 1,000. That is solid risk to reward. This is how you actually turn a pretty solid, consistent income from trading into something more than that, where it's like a bigger payoff. Doesn't happen all the time. It doesn't happen too often, but when it happens, it can really push up your returns, and it's always great when that happens. All right, great. So I hope this lesson, means something to you. You're only kind of getting this if we've talked about this stuff before. So if you have some questions or you want to know how to do this, I'll send a link in my email to you about how we can have a conversation about it, or you already know how to do that, and we'll talk more. All right, thanks, guys. I appreciate it. Thanks for your attention. I've got to run. It is a beautiful day in New York City today, so I am going to take the kids out on their scooters before my daughter has Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, and I will talk to you guys soon. Have a good one. Bye.